Alright, guys. So, I just woke up. Had a really hard time falling asleep after the amount of adrenaline pumping through my veins after that game. Oh my god, dude. The Knicks actually made history last night by being the first team to come back from down 29 in the NBA Finals. That was insane. And the final tip-in by OG Anunoby. Oh my god, dude. I wanted to cry tears of joy. It was so beautiful. So, daily NBA coverage out the way. We have this midpoint celebration banner here, which is actually quite a stunner. I was not expecting this to be the banner that we were going to end up getting tickets on. So, it's a double Emblem Heroes banner. It's featuring a lot of current, well, I don't know if that's the right word, not current, but a lot of the original Emblem Heroes, the first 8 to release. So let's go ahead and take a look here. Also, there are mission tickets that you can do, which are very easy. It's basically just KO 30 opponents and you get all the tickets. So this is the banner. We have 8, count them, 8 Emblem Heroes on here. A massive color share on red as well, by the way. And if we go ahead and take a look at the rates here, it's a double special banner. So we got 6% focus rates, no pity breaks whatsoever. So if you're summoning on this banner and you pull a 5-star, it is guaranteed to be an Emblem Hero. A really excellent banner to start the game off on. Like, if you wanted to start a brand new account, like just start up a free-to-play account or just like some alternate account, this is the kind of banner you want to see for that. Because it's the ultimate catch-up banner. You can't go wrong. If you're missing any of the Emblem Heroes, or all of the Emblem Heroes for that matter, you can't really do better than a banner like this. So, I guess we'll just quickly go over some of these characters, and I'll explain their rings and how they work as a unit themselves, starting with Corrin, because she is first in line here. Now, I want to say she's probably the best unit on the banner and has the best ring on the banner. I mean, it's pretty much consensus that her ring is the best ring still, even to this day. Just the amount of terrain control that you get with that ring is so nutty. And it is by far, like, first of all, it's mandatory for Aether Raid's defense. And it is the most annoying thing you can have in arena teams. So, yeah, Emblem Corrin's ring is on another level. She herself, as a unit, maybe not so much. She does have good fodder, though. She has pair up 4, and then she has Briar M save. So magic save could be nice if you're running a different tandem of save units if you want physical and magic save as opposed to far and near save, which does tend to work out. It really just depends on what you're going for. Both are good. If you're going to run one and only save at all, I would just go for physical save because that covers most things. But having double saves, of course, just gives you protection against everything, which there is merit to having that. And then Torrential Boost, which is not as good as Diluvial Boost, and by extension, not as good as Roy's new A skill, Rise Up. So, yeah, as a unit, Corrin is just okay, but as a ring, her ring is the best of the best. Okay, then we also have Emblem Eirika. Still one of the better offensive rings, giving Brave Attack to any unit, which is pretty nuts. And it does have a lot of matchup swings where certain units are able to win matchups that they normally wouldn't. So, still one of the better rings. Maybe not one of the very best rings, but still a very good ring. Fodder is... I mean, when she came out, her fodder was as good as it gets. But unfortunately, we have very crazy passives now. Like, Blue Skies 4 is good, but it's not better than Blue Skies Gust or Rise Above if you're a unit that can inherit that. So a little unfortunate there. Assault Force is kind of whatever, and then Attack Speed, Insight Hone as well, kind of whatever. But yeah, as a unit, Eirika is still okay. She's a nice side option for Arena Assault, and she works still pretty good with the Emblem Sigurd ring to give her the extra movement and the long canto. So yeah, overall, not a bad Emblem hero to pull. Okay, then we have Emblem Ike, who's probably the worst. No, he's not the worst unit on the banner, but he probably has the worst ring on the banner, I want to say. Like, just getting the non-pierceable DR from this only against ranged opponents is just like a big nothing burger. In my opinion, at least. I know there's still a lot of people that cling to the hope that this is a good ring, but it's not really. Fodder-wise, he's got Kanto Control, but it's not Kanto Curb, which is the one that you want right now because it has the more important ability, which is Nullify End Action Effects, which... It's funny how that worked out, right? Like, it ended up being kind of low-key better than the actual Kanto Control. But, yeah, Kanto Control is still obviously very good. Def Res Finish is ugly. I mean, it's not bad, I guess, but compared to some of the skills that we have now, like, look at this. What do you get out of this? You get Defense and Res up 7, 5 true damage, and 7 HP recovery, and you have to use a special for all that, well, not all of that stuff, but some of that stuff to activate. Meanwhile, Rise Above just gives you plus 12 to all stats, which is already way more defense and res and damage that you would get from here. And then it also gives you HP recovery as well, and it gives you the true damage and true DR. So, yeah, just the dummy good passive right there. Also, it gives you HP as well. And then Lagu's Friend, which is, I mean, it was okay. It was actually really broken when it came out, but now... By this point in time, we have so many better options. Okay, and then finally, on red, we have Marth here, Emblem Marth. He is probably the worst unit, but I would barely give the edge to his ring over Emblem Ike's. The -1 cooldown can enable certain builds that you're maybe trying to go for, like, for example, Shield Fighter and Pavis, or Shield Fighter and Aegis builds. You gotta have the -1 on this guy's ring to actually make that work out completely. So... yeah, there are still uses for his ring. It's not like it's completely dead. I don't like the -8 damage, though, if you have Brave Attacking, because at this point in time, basically every unit has Brave Attacking or can get Brave Attacking and is better off by having Brave Attacking. So, yeah, the -8 damage if you Brave doesn't really do any favors. But the -1, like I said, is just good for enabling builds. And his fodder, we're not even going to talk about it. It's even worse off than Ike's. At least Ike has, like, kind of meta stuff, like Lagu's Friend and Kanto Control. Those are some nice, like, budget skills, I guess. Not so much over here. And Marth, as a unit, it just couldn't cut it anymore. Yeah, so the quadruple color share on red is kind of... it kind of brings the banner down a little, because if you were going for Corrin... you're probably going to get one of the other three instead. Your odds are better of not getting Corrin than getting Corrin. You have a 1 in 4 chance. So, yeah, way to take the best unit on the banner and just devalue her color. All right, then over here we have Emblem Sigurd. Still pretty solid unit. He's a nice Gale Forcer because he has the AoE built into his Gale Force special. Even though, yeah, the duo Sigurd with Eldigan is better as a damage dealer. They still don't have access to the Gale Force on special, which is one of the things that makes this guy so good. He's also really good for PvE content, like Abyssal maps and those limited hero battles and things like that. So I do actually use this guy still quite a bit. He isn't top of the line as a damage dealer anymore, but the AoE is actually still, like, sneaky good against certain units. Like, Duo Freya, for example, actually doesn't really have much protection against the AoE. So Emblem Sigurd is one of those sneaky units that can get by those pesky +10 Duo Freyas in Arena Assault. So yeah, I still like using this guy quite a bit. Fodder is okay. He still has Momentum and Fatal Smoke, which are still usable in certain instances. Excel, not really, but I mean, we'll take what we can get. So, as a unit, still pretty good. As a ring, still one of the better meta rings for sure. +1 movement, possibly 3 Kanto if you're melee, or 2 if you're ranged. Can't really do any better than that. Very nice mobility ring. He is color sharing with Emblem Celica, the other mobility ring, which gives you warping. Now, warping on the Celica ring isn't really as valuable as it used to be, considering it doesn't bypass terrain. And the Corrin ring or vine tiles are just everywhere. So odds are you're not going to be able to just completely warp in with Celica ring. And most units, if they're warping, they probably have pass built in somewhere to bypass all that stuff. The Celica ring doesn't have pass. So basically your own unit who you're giving this to is going to have to find a way to pass on their own, which is not always viable or always possible. So, yeah, the ring, it's still got uses for sure, and it's still very good, obviously, on select units. Like, Emblem Edelgard, for example, or units that want a Gale Force and they don't naturally have warping. It can be really good there. So it's still a good ring, but not as game-breaking as it used to be. And then as far as her base kit, we're not even going to talk about it. And Celica as a unit, not even going to talk about either. She is just not as good as she used to be. And even when she was, like, fresh, she wasn't even that crazy. It was really just the reach that was what made her annoying at all. All right, then we have Emblem Lyn. Emblem Lyn. I don't know why I said Ling. Yeah, so Emblem Lyn, I think she's the only unit on green, right? Yeah. So we have one unit on green all by her lonesome. Still, her ring is crazy, man. Being able to attack from 5 spaces away with any unit of your choice, well, any ranged unit specifically, is obviously very good and comes into play quite a bit. It's a really good counter against Heimdallr in Aether Raid's defense teams, where if the enemy's got Heimdallr on a defense and you have the Lyn ring on someone who's free to whiff an action, you can just go ahead and do that, and then your offensive units are free to go. So, yeah, just really good. Her ring is just one of the better rings still, for sure. Fodder-wise, not so much. As a unit, Lyn is still kind of... She's still kind of useful. I mean, being able to attack from 6 spaces away, come on. No amount of power creep is ever going to make that not useful, because if there's an enemy on the opponent's team that Lyn is able to beat, which is surprisingly more than you would think, even today, then she still has uses. So, yeah, she's still a pretty good unit. I don't like her for Aether Raid's offense anymore, though, even if you've got, like, what is it again? Elm to do undefended. I'm still, like, I don't care about that. It's because Lyn only has 1 action. Like, way to go. You managed to undefend an enemy unit and then snipe them with Lyn. But why would you bother doing that when you could just have a million actions with the melee Gale Forcers, or some of the select range Gale Forcers too? They could just attack and then attack again and then attack again and then pop a duo button and then attack again. It's nuts, right? Like, you'd rather just have a lot of actions as opposed to snipe from far away. And then finally, we have Emblem Micaiah, probably the second best unit on the banner, right behind Corrin. I mean, as a unit, she's actually better. I would say I value this Micaiah a lot more than Corrin as a unit, because she's got the action economy. She can pop an assist and move again. She has the full-on penalty cleansing, same as the Ymir units and also some of the air units, which you'll never not have uses for that, especially in a mode like Summoner Duels. And then she's also a great user of the Lyn ring, because she can swap or repo or whatever, and then she can go ahead and attack from 5 spaces away. Gives a lot of support, and her ring is just really good. It only penalty cleanses the target ally, though, unlike Micaiah herself, who penalty cleanses everyone within 2 spaces. This one is a little bit more selective, but it's still obviously very good. Giving somebody action economy, and then also the healing, the penalty cleansing, it's all really good. So, yeah, for sure, I would say this is the second best ring, but the first best unit on the banner. And she's all by her lonesome, right there on colorless. So, ripe for the plucking there. All right, let's go ahead and do our summons and do our tickets, and we'll see what we get. Okay, so as far as fodder goes, what are we trying to get here? I mean, the most valuable fodder is just Corrin for pair-up, I would say. I guess Micaiah's pair... is her fodder... Nah, I don't know. Silence Ward, it has some clutch applications because it has the Drive Null C, but... yeah, overall, I would have to say Corrin is probably what we would want to go for, but we'll go for color... or actually, no. You know what we'll do? We'll go for blue, because I would like to get a copy of Noish so I can give his... oh, wow. Well, that worked out. We ended up free-pulling Celica there. Here I am talking about the demote that I'm trying to get here. I want Noish so I can give his lance to Wallace, so I can get him a little bit more ready for Arena. All right, let me know what you guys were able to get on your freebie, and we'll go ahead and do red now. We'll try to get Corrin, because like I said, she is the only other useful unit here. All right, we got a Lonku there. All right, let's go again. Just hit red all day. Also, your odds of getting a 5-star are better on red because of the amount of color sharing going on there. Okay, here's another red. I've got a lot of orbs. Well, not a lot of orbs, but I've got a decent amount of orbs. I got pretty lucky on the Roy banner, so I didn't have to go in too deep on his banner. But, yeah, you know, honestly, like, I don't even feel like summoning anymore. Even when I have orbs for new banners, I just feel like skipping for some reason. I don't know. I'm just... for some reason, I just feel like it's a good idea to just save up orbs. Even when I don't even need to be. Like, with the amount of orbs that I have right now, I could definitely go in and summon on something. But, oh, we got to fake out Brave Dimitri there. Okay. Sure. So we got 2 5-stars here. Now, one of them's obviously a lot better than the other. I'll probably go for the merge on that Celica. Get some extra stats on her ring. Because, like I said, there's not really much I can do with that fodder. So, yeah, let me know what you guys think in the comment section down below. Let me know how your summons and your free pulls were able to go. And this is your boy Tacho signing out, so take care, and I will catch y'all again on the flip side.